Chapter 47. Finally, he had everything packed and loaded in the rental truck. His SUV was sitting on the trailer, hooked to the back, and it was time to go. He made one last trip through the condo, making sure he hadn't left anything behind, then loaded up and pulled out. He was looking forward to getting to Alex's. He hadn't told her he'd managed to get things taken care of so quickly, or that he was on his way. He couldn't wait to see the surprise on her face when he pulled in. It was a little before noon the next day when he pulled the rental truck up in front of Alex's house. He knew she wouldn't be there. She'd be down at the barn with her dad. But she'd be back before long, so he got started. First he took his truck off the trailer, then unhooked the trailer in an out-of-the-way spot, before backing up to the front porch. He pulled the ramp out of the back of the truck, and propped it on the porch so he wouldn't be going up and down the steps with every trip. He knew he'd have enough climbing with the stairs inside. The boxes he stacked in one of the unused bedrooms, and the rest he put on the porch to be moved and put away later. He had the truck about half empty when he saw her truck coming up the road from the barn, but he kept working until she pulled into the yard. "What are you doing here?" She bailed out of the truck and ran toward him. Bracing himself for the impact, he caught her against him in a hug and held her close for several seconds, enjoying the feeling of having her in his arms again. "I got everything that I had to be there for taken care of. I couldn't take it, being away from you was killing me. It was no picnic for me, either." She stretched up and kissed him. He didn't stop her, he needed it as much as she did. When she pulled away she looked around. "How long have you been here?" Matt checked his phone. "A couple hours." "Why didn't you call?" "I wanted to surprise you." "Well, you certainly did that." She glanced around again. "Let me make a call, then we can finish getting you unloaded." She went inside and Matt went back to hauling in boxes. A couple minutes later she appeared again. "So tell me what your plan here is?" She looked at the half-full truck and the furniture littering her porch. "I've been putting the boxes in the back bedroom upstairs, we can sort through them later. And anything that's not boxes are here." He spread his arms out, motioning to what was around them. "I figured you could decide what you want where and what you want to keep, then we could put it away." She looked at the truck, then around her. "What happened to all your furniture? There's no way you brought it all in that." "I got rid of most of it. Sold it or gave it away." "Why?" "Why not? It was your stuff. I don't want you to feel like this isn't your home too." "I do feel at home here. I don't need my old furniture to feel at home." There were a few pieces that Connie picked out, but most of what was in the condo was picked out by a decorator, so I wouldn't have to. It meant nothing to me. "What about the stuff Connie picked out? Where's that?" "Some of it's here. Some I got rid of." He shrugged. Alex frowned. "Why get rid of it? We could have worked it in here." "Baby," he put his hands on her shoulders. "I don't need her bed anymore, and I'd never ask you to sleep in it. I like the furniture you have here, and I brought what was important to me or I thought we could use." "Okay." She looked down for a minute, then back up at him. "Okay. So what did you bring me?" He told her what items he'd brought. "You don't have to keep the appliances or anything, but I'd appreciate it if we could keep the table. That's the only piece of furniture that means anything to me." She looked around. "Where is it?" "I haven't unloaded it yet." He motioned to the inside of the truck. "Looks like you brought your washer and dryer too." "They're only a couple years old, I thought you might like them. If not, we can sell them or give them away." He shrugged. "I thought about asking first, but I didn't want to give away my surprise." She ran one hand along the top edge of one machine. I can make use of them. We'll find someone in the clan who needs a set, and pass mine on. Sounds good to me. He tugged her against him, and lowered his lips to hers. He lost himself in the feel of her body against him, and her taste. He was ready to forget unloading, and take her inside, when the crunch of gravel alerted him to someone's arrival. Damn! He muttered, pulling away. Looking up, he saw the old ranch truck that Steve often drove. Now I know who you called. He looked down at Alex with half a smile. He was tempted to send them away and take her upstairs anyway, but it would be nice having help, and it had been a while since he'd been able to spend much time with his sister. She had been spending most of her time with Rebecca when he'd left. So, Steve said as he climbed the steps. You didn't tell her you were coming early. Matt chuckled and used the arm around Alex's waist to pull her against his side. Nope, I wanted to surprise her. Sounds like you did. JV came up the stairs behind her mate. She could barely breathe when she called. JV moved in for a hug. You look like hell. Thanks, sis. He hugged her, then let her go. I haven't been sleeping much, but I still look better than you did when I got here last time. Even at my worst, I look better than you. She stuck her tongue out at him. Because I'm the pretty one. I'll let you be the pretty one, Matt said with a barely suppressed smile. 'Cause that makes me the smart one. All right, children, Steve spoke up. I didn't shuffle things and take an evening off to listen to you two bicker. He looked around as if sizing up the job. What do we want to do with this stuff? He motioned to the things Matt had unloaded and pushed out of his way on the porch. Alex started giving directions and JV called the con to find out who needed a washer and dryer set while they switched them out. Then they finished unloading the truck and loaded the old appliances inside. Matt and Steve hooked the trailer back up and went to deliver the appliances and return the truck, while JV and Alex put something together for dinner. After they finished eating, they cleaned up, then sat around the large table that had replaced Alex's tiny two-seater, talking and visiting. It was almost 9 when Steve's phone rang. This is Steve, he said to answer the call. He listened for a minute, then, we're on our way. He hung up, then looked at JV. Rebecca's in labor, and they're letting her deliver. JV stood. Let's go. Go do your thing, we'll be in touch, Alex said, standing. She and Matt walked them to the door, then watched as they pulled out. Back in the kitchen, Matt gathered the glasses from the table and loaded the few things in the sink before starting the dishwasher. Alex turned off all the lights downstairs, and they went up to the bedroom. He didn't care if they did nothing but sleep, he was so exhausted he wasn't sure he could manage more.